interests, you see. And, of course, Kennedy's point is this guy has no business being in the position he's in. None. Have you ever seen generals talk like this, America? This guy, Milley.
All right, go ahead and go to game time here.
Now he's left office. He thinks he can get...
Make sure you pay close attention. Those supporters for being a part of tonight's action. It's time to head out for the call with our play-by-play announcer. Thank you for tuning in for our local sports action on KLKS Talk 100.
Good evening and welcome to Pine River-Backus as the Pine River-Backus Tigers take on the Sebeka Trojans here tonight in boys basketball action. We had a little bit of late start here. We're gonna be kicking off here in about a minute or so, and we're going to play an interview we had with head coach of the Sebeka Trojans, John Lilquist, when we come back on the Station 371 pregame show right after this.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Communities prosper and grow when you bank locally. Everyone benefits. First National Bank has been serving the Lakes area since 1902, with their focus being on their customers and our communities. They are your hometown bank with hometown pride. First National Bank wishes all the area sports teams the best of luck and are happy to help bring you the live coverage. First National Bank is locally owned and operated with 10 branches from Walker to Baxter. Visit www.fnbnorth.com. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to the Station 371 pregame show here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com. We're talking with head coach of the Sebeka Trojans, John Lilquist. What did you focus on in preparation for tonight?
Well, last game we played against Medina, we had a rough night rebounding, so we knew we had to rebound a lot better than what we did last time, and just getting ready for Pine River's press and how fast they are, because they really push the ball and get up the floor fast.
What do you want to see improvement on from your last matchup?
Well, totally turnovers. We had too many turnovers, not enough rebounds, so those are the things that we need to focus on, is just taking better care of the basketball and getting rebounds.
Is there any strength that Pine River has over you guys that are a concern of yours?
Well, I think their size is concerning. We're not as big as they are. They're pretty big, so we know that rebounding is something we really need to focus on anyway from game to game, and this is definitely one where we're really going to have to do a good job due to their size.
What are some of your main keys to come out with a win here tonight?
Take good care of the basketball, break their press, and get good shots every time down the floor. I think we're definitely capable of that. But it's something that we have to do, and then defensively, limiting them to one shot per time down the floor.
All right, well, I wish you the best of luck tonight, and we'll be back with more Station 371 pregame coverage here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
Restock on food, fuel, and bait at locally owned Station 371 in Pine River. Station 371 helps you fuel up with quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is one of the only stops with #1 diesel. Make sure to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with bait, tackle, snacks, along with fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Welcome back to Pine River-Backus here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100.1. Your starting lineups for the Sebeka Trojans will be number 1, Parker Kaiser, number 2, Gunnar Ament, number 3, Max Lake, number 12, Trevin Lee, and number 21, Henry Erickson. Your starting lineup for the Pine River-Backus Tigers: Cole Oberfell, Tate Norman, Talon Villeneuve, Isaiah Ali, Isaiah Downey, and that is your starting lineups for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds as we get set for boys basketball action here tonight from Pine River-Backus. A snowy drive here to Pine River-Backus tonight, but I managed to make it here, and we're off. Pine River-Backus has the ball. It's going to be Oberfell over to Villeneuve, and they're going to call a foul here on Pine River, or like a foul on Sebeka, as Norman went. No, that was Isaiah Downey. Downey goes for the three-point shot. River-Backus will have the ball as we get set once again. It'll be Tate Norman. Norman over to, it's going to be number 2, Villeneuve. Back over to Tate Norman. Norman's going to go for the three-point shot. It's in for Pine River-Backus as they score first here tonight. It's going to be 2 points there. 2-0. Pine River-Backus starts off here. And it's going to be Pine River, now Sebeka on the rebound. It's going to be number 12, Trevin Lee. It's going to be number 21, Henry Erickson. It's going to get bounce right off the backboard there for Sebeka as number 3, Max Lake takes it back. It's going to be over to number 1, Parker Kaiser. And Pine River-Backus takes it back there. It's going to be Oberfell. Oberfell gets it in for another 2-pointer for Pine River-Backus. Sebeka on the rebound. Now it's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Lake over to Henry Erickson. It's going to be over to Pine River-Backus. Takes it back. Now it's going to call a foul on Pine River-Backus. Pine River-Backus leading 4-0 with 16:58 on the clock now in this first half. A little bit of a late start here tonight for the varsity matchup. We're off and running now. Sebeka Trojans, number 12, Trevin Lee has the balls over to number 2, Gunnar Ament. Ament back over to, it's going to be ball way out of bounds there, rolling out in the hallway there. It's going to be Pine River-Backus now with the ball, number 2. Villeneuve, it's going to be out of bounds for Pine River-Backus. And Sebeka will have the ball. It's going to be number 2, Gunnar Ament. It's going to be, and they call that out of bounds on Sebeka. It's going to be Pine River-Backus back with the ball again. Now it's going to be number 5, Isaiah Ali. Ali back. It's going to be in for Pine River-Backus. Three-pointer there made by number 24, Isaiah Downey. Sebeka now with the ball again against lawn shot there for Sebeka Trojans. It's in for the Trojans. Pine River-Backus still leads 7-5. Now it's Tate Norman back over to Cole Oberfell. Oberfell gets it in for Pine River-Backus. And Pine River-Backus takes the ball back again. It's number 1, Tate Norman from Isaiah Ali. It's in for Pine River-Backus. 2 shots right in a row for the Tigers as they lead 11-5 now. The Trojans, number 3, Max Lake. Lake over to number 21, Henry Erickson. Sebeka, number 12, Trevin Lee. Up to the free throw line. It's a miss for Sebeka. He'll get one more chance at it. It's going to be in for the Trojans, and it's back over to Pine River-Backus. It's going to be out of bounds. The Tigers now lead 11-6 with 15:18 on the clock. It's going to be Trojans now back with the ball. Max Lake being blocked there by Tate Norman of the Tigers. It's going to be over to Gunnar Ahmet now. The Trojans back over to Max Lake. They're going to call a foul on the Sebeka Trojans. As Pine River-Backus will have the ball. It'll be number 5, Isaiah Ali. Ali over to number 2, Villeneuve. Villeneuve over to Downey. And Trojans take it back. It's in for the Trojans. Number 3 there, Max Lake. Back over to number 2. It's going to be Villeneuve. Back over to number 1, Oberfell. Oberfell gets a three-pointer for Pine River-Backus. They lead 14-8 now in this first half as the Trojans have the ball back once again. It's going to be number 2, Almond. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Let's see. Tate Norman takes the ball back, and it's going to another two-pointer there made by Tate Norman of the Pine River-Backus Tigers. When the Trojans got knocked on the floor there, it'll be Tate Norman up to the free throw line for the Tigers. Norman gets it in for the Tigers. It's going to be Trojans back with the ball. Number 3, Max Lake. Lake getting blocked there by Tate Norman over to number 11 of the Trojans. It's going to be Trojans trying to get it in there. It's out of bounds. As Parker Kaiser fails to make the two-pointer there. Sebeka back with the ball now. It's going to be in for the Trojans. Parker Kaiser. It's going to be over to Pine River-Backus now. Oberfell looking to make a three-pointer again. It's over to 5 of Isaiah Ali. It bounces right off the backboard there for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Sebeka Trojans take it back on the rebound. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Lake is getting blocked there by number 24, Downey. It's going to be 20. Number 20, Kyson Campbell trying to make the three-pointer there. Bounces right off the backboard. Trojans are going to go for it again. It's going to be Campbell, and they're going to call a foul on the Sebeka Trojans. Pine River-Backus Tigers still lead 17-10 with 13:35 on the clock in this first half. Be the Trojans here. And Pine River-Backus knocks the ball right. Trojans take it back. Now it's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Max Lake trying to get it in for the Trojans. Bounces right off the rim there for the three-pointer. And Pine River-Backus Tigers take it back. It's Isaiah Downey. Trojans take it back. It's in for the Trojans. Number 3, Max Lake with the two-pointer there. The Villeneuve for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. And it's going to be in for the Tigers. It's Tate Norman with the two-pointer. They lead now 19-12. Trojans now passing it back and forth between Smith and Max Lake there. And it's going to be out of bounds. There's the Trojans try to make another two-pointer. Sebeka Trojans coming off of a 75-49 loss against Wadena Deer Creek last Thursday. And Pine River-Backus is doing well this season. They're coming off of a 77-73 win. And River-Backus gets it out of bounds there. Sebeka Trojans will have the ball. It's going to be Max Lake. Lake is going to pass it over to number 20, Campbell, and it's back over to Kaiser. It's in for the Trojans. River-Backus back with the ball once again. It's going to be Tate Norman. Officials are going to have a discussion here with the Tigers, it looks like, and it's going to be Tate Norman starting back off here with the ball for the River-Backus Tigers. It's going to be Tate Norman back and forth there with Isaiah Ali. Norman goes for the three-pointer, bounces right off the rim there. And Sebeka Trojans back with the ball once again. It's going to be number 11, Caleb Smith. And one of the Tigers getting, Trojans getting tripped up there by the Tigers and went out of bounds there a little bit. And 12 minutes to go on the clock in this first half. Tigers lead 19-14. It's going to be Tate Norman. Norman over to Downey. Bounces right off the rim there. It's going to be Norman. It's going to be Max Lake of the Trojans. Over to Caleb Smith. They're looking to pass over to Parker Kaiser there. It's number 23, Connor. And the Trojans trying to look. Tigers trying to get it out of his hands there. It's going to be in for the Trojans. It's Connor with the two-pointer there for the Trojans. And it's going to be Tate Norman back with the ball here for the Tigers. Foul called on the River-Backus Tigers. As the Sebeka Trojans will take the ball once again. Be number 2, Gunnar Almond. Back over to Campbell. Campbell back over to 21, Erickson. Erickson trying to get it. And Tate Norman steals the ball back for the Tigers. It's going to be Isaiah Ali. Back over to Campbell. And the Tigers take it back as they try to pass it over to number 2 there, Gunnar Almond. And the Tigers take it back now. It's Isaiah Downey. The Sebeka Trojans call a timeout. Pine River-Backus Tigers lead 19-16 with 10:49 on the clock. We'll take a break here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com. We'll be back right after this.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
And we are back here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100. Pine River-Backus leads 19-16, and boys basketball action here tonight. A snowy drive up here, and it was a slow drive, but some folks said looks like they made the drive out here, and made it here tonight just in the nick of time. As we get set once again, Pine River-Backus will start off with the ball. It'll be Isaiah Ali. Ali over to number 45, Dalton Minion. And Ali is going to go for the three-pointer. Misses right off the rim there. It's going to be foul called on the Trojans. Sebeka Trojans will start off the ball here. Be Gunnar Almond over to Max Lake. Lake over to Erickson. Erickson's looking to... It's going to be in for the Trojans there. It's going to be Max Lake for the two-point shot. Tate Norman back with the ball over to River-Backus Tigers. Number 22. Jonathan Shulgren back over to Tate Norman, over to Dalton Minion. Minion's going to go for it. It rolls right out of the rim there. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be number 23, Connor. They're going to call a travel on the Trojans. The Trojans are 1 point behind the Tigers. 19-18, Tigers still in the lead with 10 minutes left to go in the first half. As River-Backus Tigers will have the ball, it'll be Tate Norman. Norman back over to Isaiah Ali. Back over to Villeneuve. Ali back over to Villeneuve. Back over to... it's going to be number 40 at River-Backus Tigers. Mason Nelson with the two-pointer there. No, it was a three-point shot. They're leading now 22-18. Sebeka Trojans on the rebound. It'll be 23 Connor over to Gunnar Ament. Rolls right out of the rim there. Officials called a foul there before he could get the two-point shot, so will not be counted for the Trojans. That'll put Sebeka Trojans up to the free throw line there. It'll be Gunnar Ament, number 2. It's in for the Trojans. The Trojans will send back in Parker Kaiser. And Gunnar Ament will get another chance at the free throw shot here. It's in for the Trojans as they trail 2 points behind River-Backus as River-Backus takes the lead 22-20, and it's going to be River-Backus now back with the ball. Tate Norman over to Villeneuve, back over to Ali, back over to Tate Norman. Over to Villeneuve. It's going to be bounce right off the back rim there for the Tigers. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Max Lake trying to get past Oberfeld there of the Tigers. He's going to pass it over to number 12, Trevin Lee. It's going to bounce, roll right out of the rim there for the Trojans as the Tigers take the ball back. It's going to be Oberfeld. One of the Trojans got knocked on the floor there. It'll be Trevin Lee. And Oberfeld with the two-pointer there is River-Backus will lead 24-20. 8:45 on the clock in this first half. Oberfeld will be up to the free throw line now for the Tigers. And it is in for the Tigers. Oberfeld. River-Backus now in the lead 25-20 as the Trojans now to have the ball back. It's going to be Max Lake. Lake over to Erickson, back over to Max Lake. Norman trying to block the Trojans there, and the Max Lake fails to get it in the hoop there and goes out of bounds as the Tigers attempted to take it back, and the Trojans took it back right out of the hands of Tate Norman there. The Tigers will send in Grady Mongan. And they will send back in Isaiah Ali. As the Sebeka Trojans will start off with the ball, it'll be number 2, Gunnar Ament. And the Trojans back with the ball now. Looks like a false start on the Trojans. It's going to be Pine River-Backus now back with the ball in possession. It's going to be Isaiah Ali back over to Oberfell. Ali back over to Mason Nelson. It's failed two-pointer there for the Tigers. They take it right back. Oberfell rolls right out of the rim there. Can they get it in? It's a two-pointer made by the Tigers. It's Mason Nelson with the two-point shot as they will lead 27-20 now in this first half. And it's going to be Sebeka Trojans now back with the ball. It's Henry Erickson. Erickson looking to pass. He's going to go for the three-pointer. It's in for the Trojans. First three-point shot of the night for the Trojans. Made by Erickson. Tigers back with the ball again now. It's number 24, Isaiah Downey. Over to Oberfell. It's going to be bounced right off the rim there as he fails to get the shot. It's going to be back over the Tigers. Isaiah Downey goes for it. Bounces right off the rim there. Trojans take the ball back on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Over to Henry Erickson. Pine River-Backus now will have the ball in possession once again. We'll start off with Isaiah Ali. 7:28 left to go on the clock in this first half. The Tigers lead 27-23. Bounce right off the rim there for the Tigers. And it looks like Sebeka Trojans. Campbell tries to get the rebound there, and he winds up on the floor there, and be Trojans back with the ball. Be Campbell, the Trojans, back up to the free throw line. As the Trojans will send in Caleb Smith. Rolls right out of the rim there for the Trojans. It's going to be Pine River-Backus on the rebound. It's going to be number 24, Isaiah Downey. Downey over to Oberfell, and it's going to be Isaiah Ali trying to get the three-pointer for the Tigers. Bounces right off the rim there. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Lake trying to pass over to Parker Kaiser. Max Lake looking to pass. It's going to be, he's getting blocked there by number 40 of the Tigers, Mason Nelson. And they call ball was out of bounds there as the Trojans tried to get the ball for a two-point shot, and Pine River-Backus will take the ball back in possession. It'll be Oberfell over to Grady Mongan. Bounces right off the rim there. It's going to be Sebeka Trojans over to Parker Kaiser. Max Lake over to number 23, Connor. It's going to be number 5, Isaiah Ali. Ali over to Isaiah Downey. It's in for the Tigers. Sebeka Trojans back with the ball once again. Trojans trying to be number 3, Max Lake. They're getting blocked by number 5, Isaiah Ali. He's going to go for the two-pointer. It's in for the Trojans. And the Tigers back with the ball once again. The Oberfell looking to pass over to the left side there. It's going to be going for the three-point shot. Bounces right off the rim there for Ali. Oberfell goes for it again. It's going to be Mason Nelson. Mason Nelson bounces right off the rim there again for the Tigers as the Trojans try to take the ball right out of his hands, and Sebeka Trojans will have the ball in possession once again. Pine River-Backus Tigers lead 29-25 with 5:50 on the clock in this first half. It'll be now number 3, Max Lake. Lake over to Erickson. Number 3, Max Lake over to number 23, Connor. Bounces right off the backboard there. It's going to call a foul on the Sebeka Trojans. The Trojans Tigers will send in Gunnar Amont once again, and be number 14. No, that's Vilna. Excuse me. We're going to send in number 14, Grady Mongan, here up to the free throw line. And missed free throw shot there for the Tigers, and it's going to be Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake, getting blocked there by Ali. Max Lake looking to pass. It's going to be over to number 21, Henry Erickson. Max Lake is going to go for the two-pointer. It's in for the Trojans. 2 points behind the Tigers now. The Tigers have the ball once again. It's going to be Bill now over to Isaiah Downey. Roll right out of the rim there for the Trojans. It's going to be Sebeka Trojans on the rebound. Max Lake out of bounds there for the Trojans. And the Pine River-Backus Tigers back in possession with the ball once again. It's going to be Tate Norman back in the ball game here. It's going to be over to number 5, Isaiah Ali. Goes for the three-point shot, rolls right off the rim there, and the Pine River-Backus Tigers take it back once again. Ali over to Tate Norman. Norman's going to go for the three-point shot, looking to pass over to Oberfell. That's going to be over to Vilna. Back over to Oberfell. Oberfell's going to go for the two-pointer. Bounces right off the rim there, and the Sebeka Trojans take it on the rebound. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Max Lake. Pass it over to Gunnar Amont. Gunnar Amont is going to go for the two-point shot. It's going to be missed there for the Trojans. Pine River-Backus Tigers on the rebound. It's going to be Oberfell over to Tate Norman. Norman is, no, it's rolls right off the rim there for the Tigers. Trojans on the rebound once again. And the Tigers knock the ball right out of the hands of Erickson of the Sebeka Trojans there. Goes out of bounds. 3:49 on the clock in this first half. The Tigers still lead 29-27. The Trojans will start off with possession. Here will be Max Lake. Maybe over to Parker Kaiser. Number 21, Henry Erickson. Over to 23. Over to number 3, Max Lake is going to go for a two-pointer. It's in for the Trojans as we're tied now 29-29. Pine River-Backus back with the ball once again. Number 1, Tate Norman's going to go bounce right off the back rim there. It's going to be over to Tate Norman. And it's going to be Sebeka Trojans back with the ball, and they're going to call Sebeka Trojans call a timeout. We are tied 29-29 here with 1 minute left to go on the clock. And we'll be back with more boys basketball coverage here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 right after this.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Communities prosper and grow when you bank locally. Everyone benefits. First National Bank has been serving the Lakes area since 1902, with their focus being on their customers and our communities. They are your hometown bank with hometown pride. First National Bank wishes all the area sports teams the best of luck and are happy to help bring you the live coverage. First National Bank is locally owned and operated with 10 branches from Walker to Baxter. Visit www.fnbnorth.com. Member FDIC.
And we're back on KLKS Talk 100.1 and YourLiveEvent.com as the Pine River-Backus Tigers take on the Sebeka Trojans here in boys basketball action here tonight. 3:17 on the clock. We are tied 29-29. The Trojans going to be out of bounds there. Max Lake attempts to. That's going to be now number 2, Gunnar Amont with the ball back over to Max Lake. Max Lake goes for a three-pointer there. It's going to be Trojans number 12, Trevin Lee. As as Pine River-Backus Tigers on the rebound now as Lee fails to get the two-pointer there. It's going to be over to Tate Norman. Norman fails to make the two-point shot, and the Trojans on the rebound. Max Lake has the ball once again for the Sebeka Trojans. It's going to be Gunnar Ament over to number 23. Connor of the Trojans. It's in for the Trojans. Connor on the three-pointer as the Sebeka Trojans pull ahead now, leading 32-29 against the Tigers. And Tigers' Tate Norman takes the ball back, and it's going to be out of bounds. And it's going to be Sebeka Trojans back with the ball once again. Trevin Lee over to Parker Kaiser. Max Lake over to number 12. Trevin Lee bounces right off the backboard there for the Trojans. As the Trojans take it back, it's going to be Trevin Lee going for it. It's going to be out of bounds for the Trojans. Sebeka Trojans up to the free throw line now. It's going to be number 12, Trevin Lee. It's in for the Trojans. And it's going to be Trevin Lee. Fails to make the next free throw shot there. It's going to be Pine River-Backus on the rebound. Pine River-Backus now has ball once again. It's going to be Villeneuve over to Tate Norman. Norman back over to Villeneuve, over to Ali. Isaiah Ali goes for the three-pointer. It's going to be bounced right off the rim there. And Sebeka Trojans get the ball back. On the rebound, it's going to be Max Lake. Max Lake is looking to pass over to Parker Kaiser. Minute 30 left to go in this first half as we're Trojans in the lead 33-29. Number 12 back over to number 3, Max Lake. Max Lake looking to pass back over. It's going to be Max Lake with a two-point shot for the Sebeka Trojans. Pine River-Backus Tigers on the rebound now. Once again, it's going to be number 2, Villeneuve. Back over to Tate Norman. Norman back over to Ali. It's going to be Pine River-Backus Tigers. Isaiah Downey with a two-pointer there. As we are winding down in this first half. Sebeka Trojans on the rebound. Now it's going to be Max Lake. Max Lake over to Parker Kaiser. Be over to number 20, Campbell. Campbell's looking to pass. Over to number 2, Gunnar Ament, and back and forth there with the Sebeka Trojans. Trojans, it's going to be over to Ament, back over to Kaiser. Ament's going to go for it. It's going to roll right off the rim there as he knocks Villeneuve, the Tigers, on the floor. As Villeneuve takes the ball back on the rebound for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. It's going to be Sebeka Trojans take it on the rebound. As the Tigers fail to get the two-pointer, winding down about 15 seconds in this first half as the Sebeka Trojans now, the Trojans will be going into halftime leading 35-31. Max Lake goes for a failed three-pointer there, and that's the first half. Sebeka Trojans lead 35-31. We'll return with their little halftime numbers here when we come back for more boys basketball action here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
I'll probably go in about 5.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Game of the season for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. We've been on a winning streak the past 2 weeks. Last week coming off of a 77-73 win over Swanville. That was actually on Monday. And tonight it is a close matchup here with the Sebeka Trojans, as Trojans lost last Thursday against Wadena Deer Creek. Sebeka won 61-58 last year against Pine River, so it'll be a close matchup tonight, I think. Comparing what's going on here in this first half compared to the scores from last year. And so Pine River-Backus, we have Tate Norman, Isaiah Ali, and Isaiah Downey down for all three-point shots. And Sebeka Trojans, one three-pointer that was made by Max Lake at the start of the first half. Great plays being made by Tate Norman of the Tigers, and he did plenty of steals there for the Pine River-Backus Tigers, and then the Trojans took it back in about the last half of the first half there, and lots of great plays there being made by Max Lake and Parker Kaiser and Trevin Lee of the Trojans. It should be an exciting second half here from Pine River-Backus on this cold, wintry night here in Pine River, Minnesota. About 3 minutes left to go. 3 minutes left until the second half, as the Trojans lead 35-31. When we come back, we'll tip off the second half there. We'll start off with the second half of boys basketball action here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 right after this.
You know Wide's major appliance and brain.
Tonight at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Insurance Agency is proud to support today's radio coverage.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Action here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com as the Pine River-Backus Tigers host the Sebeka Trojans here tonight in Pine River, Minnesota. The Trojans lead 35-31, a close matchup here tonight as we're about ready to tip off the second half. Sebeka Trojans take on Verndale this Friday, and Pine River-Backus travels to Red Lake to take on Red Lake on Friday as well. And now we start off once again, Pine River-Backus Tigers with the ball. It's going to be Vilna over to Tate Norman. Over to Downey. Tate Norman. Ball falls right out of his hands there. Sebeka Trojans take the ball back here. It's going to be Parker Kaiser over to Max Lake. Max Lake getting blocked there by Vilna, the Pine River-Backus Tigers. And it's going to be Max Lake. Lake trying to get, he's getting blocked there by Oberfell. It's going to be Max Lake going to pass it over to 21, Henry Erickson. The Trojans, it's going to be Trojans trying to Trying to get it in there. Max Lake goes for the two-pointer. It's missed. Two-pointer there by the Trojans, and Tigers on the rebound be Tate Norman. Norman over to Isaiah Downey. Downey over to Oberfell. Oberfell back over to Downey. Over to Villeneuve. Back over to Tate Norman. Over to Isaiah Downey. Downey back over to Villeneuve. It's going to be missed. Three-point shot there for the Tigers. Sebeka Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Lake is going to pass it over to number 1 of Parker Kaiser. Norman over to 24, Isaiah Downey. It's going to be Tigers in. Two-pointer there made by Tate Norman. 2 points behind the Trojans now as they're looking to pull ahead. It's going to be the Trojans looking to pass back over. It's going to be 21, Henry Erickson over to Max Lake. Erickson looking to pass over to number 2, Gunnar Ament. Ament back over to Parker Kaiser. Trevin Lee. Lee looking to, as Oberfell rips it out of the hands there of Lee of these Trojans. Tigers attempt to steal the ball back there, and as the River-Backus Tigers will take the ball back now. It'll be number 2, Villeneuve, back over to number 5, Isaiah Ali. Ali over to Downey. Downey passed back over to Tate Norman. No, it's going to be over to Ali. Over to Villeneuve, back over to Ali. Ali back over to Erickson. And it's going to be missed three-pointer there for the Tigers, and Sebeka Trojans on the rebound now. It's going to be Max Lake getting blocked there by Isaiah Downey. Trevin Lee with the ball now for the Trojans. It's going to be over to number 1, Parker Kaiser. It'll be Max Lake. Parker Kaiser now over to Isaiah Ali. Ali now it's in for the River-Backus Tigers. Isaiah Ali in three-pointer now as they will take the lead 36-35. Tigers steal the ball back. Now it's back to the Trojans. Now Trojans trying to take the ball back. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Max Lake trying to get the two-pointer there. It's going to be blocked by a bunch of Tigers there. And over to number 21, Henry Erickson. Henry it's going to be a missed two-pointer, missed three-point shot there for the Trojans. Back over to Max Lake is going to be in for the Trojans. Max Lake with the three-pointer there for the Trojans as they will pull ahead now 38-36 as the Tigers take it back on the rebound. It's going to be a roll right out of the rim there for the Tigers as one of the Tigers and one of the Trojans is on the floor there. And back and forth in this second half here as the Sebeka Trojans now pull ahead 38-36, the 14:40 on the clock. Pine River-Backus steps up to the free throw line. It's going to be Isaiah Downey with it's in for the Tigers. And Downey bounces right off the rim there. It's going to be Parker Kaiser over to number 21, Henry Erickson. Erickson back over to Max Lake. Back over to Sebeka Trojans. The Trojans back over to Henry Erickson. Erickson's going to be, trips up one of the Tigers there. Looks like he's all right, though. It's going to be Villeneuve, the Tigers. It's picked up in the air there and tossed on the ground. Tigers now 1 point behind. Villeneuve might not be stepping back in the game now for the rest of the night. As the Sebeka Trojans now will start off with the ball once again. It's going to be over to number 23, Connor. Back over to Max Lake. Max Lake looking to pass. It's going to be over to Gunnar Ament. Ament over to Connor. It's going to be Tigers take the ball back there at number 5, Isaiah Ali. What a close matchup this is tonight. Sebeka Trojans still lead 38-37. 14:07 on the clock in this second half. Connor will be up to the free throw line for the Sebeka Trojans, and we're going to send in number 45 Dalton Minion of the Tigers. Bounces right off the rim there. One free throw shot there for the Trojans. It's going to be River-Backus Oberfell back on the rebound now. It's going to be missed two-pointer there for Oberfell of the Tigers, as the Trojans now lead 39-37. Oberfell up to the free throw line now for the Tigers. Going to be missed free throw shot there for the Tigers, and the Trojans are back on the. It's going to be in for the Trojans. Gunnar Almond back over to the Tigers. It's going to be number 5, Isaiah Ali. Ali, it's going to be bounced right off the rim there for the Tigers, and Trojans take the ball back on the rebound. It's going to be number 20, Campbell. Campbell back over to Max Lake. Max Lake passes it back over to Parker Kaiser. Max Lake is looking to pass. Going to be attempted three-point shot there. Missed there by the Trojans, and Tigers back on the rebound. Isaiah Ali. The Trojans back on. Steal it back there. It's going to be Max Lake with a two-pointer as the Sebeka Trojans pull ahead 43-37. And River-Backus calls a timeout. Sebeka Trojans lead 43-37, a 13-12 on the clock. We're going to take a break as well. And we'll be back with more boys basketball action here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Schrupp Excavating LLC is ready to serve you with any excavation project. Schrupp Excavating provides residential and commercial new construction site prep, demolition, road and driveway construction, basements, septic system design and installation, stump or brush removal, and delivery of sand, gravel, rock, dirt, and more. 41 years and still digging it right. Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time. Serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all their surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC, online at ShruppExcavating.com.
And we are back here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com as the River-Backus Tigers host the Sebeka Trojans here tonight. And it's going to be back over to River-Backus now. River-Backus trying to get, it's going to be stolen back by the Sebeka Trojans. It's going to be number 4, Kenyatta Bell there, and out of bounds. And the Sebeka Trojans call a timeout. We'll take another quick break here as well. We'll come back as the Trojans still lead 43-37 here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 for more boys.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River, Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org.
And we're back here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com as the Sebeka Trojans took a quick timeout there, and Sebeka leads 43-37 against River-Backus here tonight. Sebeka Trojans now back with the ball. It's going to be Bell with the ball, and over to number 1, Parker Kaiser. 23, Connor. And it's in for the Trojans. Villeneuve. Villanelle's getting blocked there by Bell of the Trojans. It's going to be Pine River-Backus now 22. Jonathan Sjogren back over to Tate Norman. It's in for the Tigers. It's going to be Trojans leading 45-39 now. 12:20 on the clock. It's going to be Bell now on the rebound for the Trojans. Trojans back over to number 1, Parker Kaiser. Kaiser over to Connor. Connor's looking to pass. Back over to Bell. Bell's going to go for the three-pointer. Bounces right off the backboard there. Pine River-Backus Tigers take it back. It's going to be Tate Norman. Norman goes back over to Villeneuve. Villeneuve back over to Jonathan Sjogren. Dalton Minion tries to get it in there, and the Trojans take it back on the rebound as they fail to make the two-pointer there. It's going to be number 20. Pull it out of bounds there for the Trojans. Tate Norman back with the ball and possession for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Norman goes for the three-pointer. It's in for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Tate Norman. As they trail 3 points behind the Sebeka Trojans. Now it's going to be back over to Max Lake. Lake back and forth with Bell there of the Trojans. Back over to number 21, Erickson. Erickson's going to go for a three-pointer. It's in for the Trojans. Back-to-back 3 points. They're made by the Pine River-Backus Tigers and the Sebeka Trojans. It's going to be Oberfell on the rebound now for the Tigers. Back over to Sjogren. Oberfell fails to make the two-pointer there for the Tigers. Going to call a foul on the Trojans. It's going to be Pine River-Backus Tigers now. Tate Norman. Norman trying to make the failed on the two-pointer there for the Tigers. That's going to be Trojans now. Trojans still lead 48-42 with 10:50 on the clock in this second half. As the Trojans now will have the ball once again, it's going to be Gunnar Ament over to Max Lake. Max Lake getting blocked there by Tate Norman of the Tigers. The Max Lake looking to pass. He's looking to make a two-pointer there for the Trojans. It's going to be bounce right off the rim there for the Trojans. It's going to go back for it again. It's in for the Trojans. They lead 50-42 now as the Tigers. Tate Norman on the rebound. It'll be bounce right off the back rim there for the Tigers. Sebeka Trojans back over to number 21, Henry Erickson. Erickson back over to Max Lake. Lake looking to pass. That's going to be over to the two-pointer there for Max Lake of the Trojans. It'll be back over to Oberfell of the Tigers. Tigers looking to make the three-pointer there. It's going to bounce right off the rim there for the Tigers. The Tigers take it back. It's going to be Villeneuve. Back over to Oberfell's. We can pass over to Tate Norman there. It's going to be in for the Tigers, maybe, as address Tate Norman kind of knocked over Gunnar Almond there of the Trojans. See if that's going to count as a foul or not. And it's not going to be, it's going to be no good for the Tigers. We'll put Tate Norman up to the free throw line for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. As the Trojans still lead 52-42. 9:56 on the clock in the second half. officials having a discussion down here on the court, and they're going to give those 2 points to River-Backus. Sebeka Trojans still lead 52 to 44. That is. Tate Norman up to the free throw line for the River-Backus Tigers. And it's in for the Tigers. It's Sebeka Trojans on the right sideline here. Back over to Gunnar Ament. Ament's getting blocked there by Norman. It's going to be over to number 21 of the Trojans, Erickson. And Erickson's going to pass it back over to Ament. Ament's going to go for, it's going to be travel called on the Trojans. And Tigers back with the ball now. It's going to be Villeneuve. Villeneuve back with the ball. It's going to be over to Tate Norman. Tate Norman makes a three-pointer shot for the River-Backus Tigers. Second one in the second half now for Tate Norman. Sebeka Trojans back with the ball now. It's going to be number 3, Max Lake. Max Lake looking to get around Tate Norman over to Henry Erickson. Gunnar Ament goes for the three-pointer. Miss there. It's going to be out of bounds. Sebeka Trojans still lead 52 to 48 now. Well, 9 minutes left to go in this second half, and we're going to be back with the ball. It's going to be River-Backus, Villeneuve. Villeneuve looking to pass over to, it's going to be Sjogren. That's be goes for the two-pointer there, rolls right off the rim there. Sjogren back over to Oberfell. Oberfell back over to Sebeka Trojans. Trojans trying to get the ball in. It's going to be Max Lake. And you're going to call a foul on the River-Backus Tigers there. And River-Backus will start. Oh, maybe Sebeka starting off now with River-Backus sends back in Mason Nelson. Sebeka Trojans, Max Lake start off with the ball here. It's going to be missed two-pointer there, and then the Tigers take it back. Oberfell over to Isaiah Downey. Tate Norman back over to Mason Nelson. Tate Norman back over to Nelson, over to Oberfell, over to Villeneuve. That's the end for the River-Backus Tigers. Three-pointer there made by Isaiah Downey. As the Tigers trail 2 points behind the Trojans now. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Ament back over to Max Lake. Max Lake looking to pass over to. It's going to be block. It's going to be rolls right in there for the Trojans. River-Backus on the rebound now. It's going to be Isaiah Downey. Downey's looking to make a three-point shot. Rolls right out of the rim there. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Max Lake getting blocked already there by Tate Norman. Max Lake over to. Getting blocked there by Oberfell. Oberfell's trying to get the ball out of his hands there. Parker Kaiser gets the ball out of bounds. As the Trojans send back in Campbell of start off this be over to they're gonna go for a two-pointer there, and River-Backus takes it back. Oberfell passes it over to Isaiah Ali out of bounds. It's be number 20, number 12, Trevin Lee of the Trojans, and be Oberfell on the floor there for the Tigers. Trojans still lead 54-50. 7 minutes left to go in the second half. Back and forth action here tonight in Pine River. And Trojans back with the ball. It's going to be Connor back over to Kaiser. And it's in for the Trojans. Campbell on the three-point shot. Pine River-Backus back with the ball now. Isaiah Downey over to Tate Norman. Norman over to... It's going to be... They're going to count that in for the Tigers. Trail 5 points behind the Trojans now. Tate Norman's going to go up to the free throw line once again for the Tigers. And it's going to be in for the Tigers. And the Sebeka Trojans will be Parker Kaiser leading off now over to number 20. Oh, going to be knocked out of bounds there by Pine River-Backus Tigers. Mason Nelson. Sebeka Trojans there. Trevin Lee back over to Parker Kaiser, over to Connor. Connor back over to number 12, Trevin Lee. And it's in for the Sebeka Trojans there, and it's back over to Pine River-Backus Tigers now. Tate Norman back and forth with Isaiah Downey over to Isaiah Ali. It's in for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Isaiah Downey on the three-pointer. 3 points behind the Trojans now. 6 minutes left on the clock in the second half. Pine River-Backus Tigers take it back. It's in for the Tigers. Isaiah Downey. As the Pine River-Backus Tigers call a timeout. 1 point behind the Trojans here. It's about 6 minutes left to go in the second half. Trojans lead 59-58 against the Tigers. Lots and lots of back and forth action here tonight in Pine River, Minnesota, as Pine River-Backus hosts the Sebeka Trojans. Trojans still lead 59-58. Can they keep that lead? We shall find out in the next 6 minutes of this matchup here tonight, folks. And Connor will be starting off for the Sebeka Trojans. Over to Bell. Bell back over to, it's going to be Pine River-Backus, number 24, Isaiah Downey. Back over to Bell. It's going to be over to Parker Kaiser out of bounds for the Trojans as the Pine River-Backus Tigers attempt to take the ball back there. And Trojans have got the ball back. Thinking maybe they should shut that door out in the hallway there. It keeps rolling out in the hallway. And officials having a discussion with Coach John Lilquist of the Sebeka Trojans down here. And it's going to be Pine River-Backus back with the ball. Attempted three-point shot there, rolls right out of the rim for the Tigers. Starting back with the ball for the Sebeka Trojans is going to be number 23, Connor, back over to number 3, Max Lake. Lake over to Connor. Connor back over to Tate Norman. Pine River-Backus Tigers steal the ball back. It's going to be over to Isaiah Ali. Ali gets it in for the Tigers. As the Tigers take the lead now 60-59. 5:27 on the clock in this second half as the Sebeka Trojans take the ball back. It's going to be number 4, Bell. They call a foul on the Trojans. That's going to be Bell up to the free throw line for the Sebeka Trojans. As the Tigers lead 60-59. Another close matchup for the Tigers here tonight. It's going to come down to the wire. Bounces right off the rim there for Bell. The Trojans. It's going to be Tigers back on the rebound. Now it's going to be Isaiah Ali over to Isaiah Downey. Oberfell gets it in for the Tigers. It's in for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Oberfell with a 2-point shot as they lead 62 to 59. Now it's going to be Ament of the Sebeka Trojans now back over to Piker Kaiser. It's going to be out of bounds there. Bell back is going to stolen away for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Isaiah Ali over to Tate Norman. It's in again. Isaiah Downey on fire for the Tigers. Tigers take the lead 64 to 59. As the Sebeka Trojans now on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Pass it over to Gunnar Ament. As Pine River-Backus takes the ball back, it's number 40 there, Mason Nelson. 4:37 on the clock, and Pine River-Backus takes the lead now 64 to 59. Trevin Lee of the Sebeka Trojans up to the free throw line. It's going to be a missed free throw shot there. Lee is not in for the Trojans there. Bounces right off the rim there. It's going to be Max Lake back with the ball for the Trojans. Trojans back with the ball now. Max Lake. And Pine River-Backus Tate Norman picks up the ball. Steals the ball back there. Is it in for Pine River-Backus? It is for Tate Norman. Be Max Lake over to 21. Henry Erickson. Pine River-Backus leads 66 to 62. 66 to 62 lead over the Trojans now as Pine River-Backus has the ball once again. It's be Isaiah Downey. Isaiah Ali over to Tate Norman. He's going to go for a three-pointer again. It's going to be back over to Ali, over to Downey. Back over to Ali. Sebeka Trojans trying to take it out of his hands there. Max Lake. It's going to be bounces right off the backboard there for the Tigers, and Oberfell on the ground. Ball rolls right out of the bounds there. As it'll be Oberfell for the Pine River-Backus Tigers up to the free throw line. It's in for the Tigers. Going to give Oberfell another shot at it here. It's in for Oberfell. Pine River-Backus leads 68 to 62 now. 3:33 on the clock in the second half. As the Sebeka Trojans take on the rebound here, Max Lake taken back by the Pine River-Backus Tigers. Pine River-Backus up on their feet here tonight, as this is one close game here. And Pine River, Minnesota for one cold night. For a cold night here in Pine River, it's one heck of a basketball game to be at here tonight. It's going to be Max Lake up to the free throw line for the Sebeka Trojans. It's going to give him another chance there for the free throw shot. Max Lake. It's in for Lake. As the Trojans trail 5 points behind the Tigers now, as the Tigers take it. This will be Tate Norman. Pine River-Backus, Isaiah Ali. It's Oberfell over to Downey. Tate Norman over to Oberfell. Oberfell over to Ali. The Trojans take the ball back. Now it's going to be Grant Ament. And failed 2-point shot there for the Trojans. Pine River-Backus Tigers lead 68 to 63, 2:53 on the clock in the second half. Grant Ament up to the free throw line for the Sebeka Trojans. Trojans get the ball in there for the free throw shot. Going to give Ament another chance at it here. Oberfeld now down the left sideline over to Ali. Over to Norman. Norman's going to pass over to Downey. Downey is handed off by Norman there over to Ali. Ali goes for the three-pointer. It's going to be Norman trying to take the ball back. It's out of bounds. Going to call a foul on the Trojans, it looks like. .234 on the clock. Trojans trail 65-68 as the Pine River-Backus Tigers have taken the lead. Tate Norman up to the free throw line now, once again for the Tigers. It's in for Norman. Norman gets it in for the Tigers. As the Sebeka Trojans call a timeout. Pine River-Backus has taken the lead 70-65. And we'll come back for more boys basketball action here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
Save on your groceries. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
There are many things to consider when buying a used appliance, like reliability. Will it work in the future? Or after a few days, does it sound something like this? Call Wides today, Brainerd's most trusted name in used appliances. At Wides, the sale isn't in when you walk out the door. They have factory-trained technicians and in-home or in-shop service to serve you better. Give them a call at 829-5292. The name to remember in used appliances is Wides.
And we are back here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 as the Pine River-Backus Tigers host the Sebeka Trojans here tonight. About 2:31 on the clock in the second half as the Sebeka Trojans have taken the ball back. It's going to be Pine River-Backus trying to take it back there. Max Lake of the Trojans. Trojans trying to get past Tate Norman there. Seeing if they can take the lead in these last couple minutes of the game here. It's going to be in for the Trojans. 2 points now behind Pine River-Backus. Ament on the three-point shot there. Pine River-Backus has the ball once again. Tate Norman. Norman over to Downey. Over to Isaiah Ali. Over to Oberfell. Back over to Oberfell. And Sebeka Trojans on the rebound. Max Lake trying to get past Tate Norman there. Max Lake bounce right off the rim there. It's going to be back over to Pine River-Backus Tigers on the rebound. It's going to be Isaiah Ali over to Oberfell. Oberfell gets it in for the Tigers. Minute 20 on the clock in the second half. Pine River-Backus leads Sebeka 72-68. Sebeka Trojans now, it's going to be a long pass over to Kaiser, and Grant Ament gets it in for the Trojans as 2 points still behind the Tigers. Can they take the lead in this last minute of the game here? Let's find out as Tate Norman takes the ball back for the Pine River-Backus Tigers, and it's going to be over to Isaiah Ali, back over to Tate Norman, back over to Ali. And it's a failed three-pointer there for the Tigers as Tate Norman takes it back. He's going to go for a two-pointer. It's in for the Tigers. Winding down here, 40 seconds on the clock as the Tigers take the lead 74-70. That's going to be Oberfell. Back over to, rolls right out of the rim there for the Sebeka Trojans. Back over to Pine River-Backus Tigers. Tigers call a foul on the Trojans there. It's going to be Tigers to the free throw line. Isaiah Downey gets it in for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. He's going to go for it once again here. 22 seconds left to go in this matchup here tonight. It's in for the Tigers. Trojans now lead, or down the court there. Tigers in the lead, 76-70. Trojans on the floor there. Coach Lilquist was worried about the Pine River-Backus size of their team tonight. Well, they did put up a good fight for a while, but about 15 seconds left to go. And Pine River-Backus has called a timeout. Pine River-Backus leads 76-70. We're going to take a short break here. We'll come back as we're coming down to the wire here in Pine River, Minnesota tonight. Pine River leads 76-70. We'll be back here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLCast Talk 100.1 right after this.
Communities prosper.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Restock on food, fuel, and bait at locally owned Station 371 in Pine River. Station 371 helps you fuel up with quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is one of the only stops with #1 diesel. Make sure to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with bait, tackle, snacks, along with fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
We are back here on KLCast Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com as Pine River-Backus Tigers host the Sebeka Trojans here tonight. Oberfell up to the free throw line. It's in for the Tigers. Tigers leading 77-70. 15 seconds left to go in this matchup here tonight. Oberfell goes for another, rolls right out of the rim there for the Tigers. Trojans on the rebound. It's going to be Max Lake. Goes for one last three-point shot there. It's a miss there. Tigers take it back on the rebound. It's going to be Tate Norman. And that's going to be the matchup here tonight. Pine River-Backus Tigers take the victory, 77-70. What a wild game that was here. And Pine River, Minnesota here tonight as they hosted the Sebeka Trojans. When we come back, we will try to get some post-game interviews here and give out our I bring the Energy Enbridge Player of the Game. Tonight we'll give away one lucky T-shirt here, and when we come back here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
There's way more than bowling at Community Bowl and Pizzeria.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River-Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Great people, economic viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River-Backus, and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Backus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Great people.
Locally owned and operated with 10 branches from Walker to Baxter. Visit www.fnbnorth.com. Member FDIC.
And we're back here on KLKS Talk 100 and YourLiveEvent.com, talking with head coach of the Pine River-Backus Tigers, Jordan Ackerman. How did you feel you guys did tonight in your performance?
I think we did what it took to win. I didn't think we were very pretty offensively at times. Our defense was pretty stagnant. It looked like we haven't had a practice, and we played a few games in a row, and our shots were flat. So I didn't think we played sharp in any facet of the game. But I thought they gutted it out. I think we showed our toughness there down the stretch, and I think our experience showed. We've been in a few tight ball games this summer, and even last night we had one in overtime. So I think just those experiences kind of played through tonight. We have an experienced squad, and I thought they played really well down the stretch. So I was happy with that. But overall, we got a few things to shore up.
You guys kind of made a comeback there in the second half. What do you feel was the turning point with you guys tonight?
Yeah, well, props to Sebeka. They played really, really well. They got good looks at the hoop. That number 3 is really tough. Kudos to him. And yeah, I was just happy with the way the guys played, and figure out a way to come back. And I think they showed their grit there, being down after being up in the first half. I just thought they showed their grit and their toughness, and they kept battling. Even though number 3 was just being a baller out there, he was tough to handle, and our guys just kept attacking. And
what do you feel you guys need to work on the most for your next matchup?
I think our next one, we just have to be more crisp offensively. We didn't really run anything very well tonight offensively. Getting guys in the right places, keeping the ball moving, and not letting it stick. A couple times we were holding the ball too long and not making good decisions. So keep working on those things.
All right, well, congratulations on the win tonight, and it's Coach Jordan Ackerman for the Pine River-Backus Tigers. We'll be back with more post-game coverage here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 right after this.
Thanks for covering, Brandon.
Thank you.
Restock on food, fuel, and bait at locally owned Station 371 in Pine River. Station 371 helps you fuel with quality.
Viability, a wonderful place to live. Pine River-Backus
Make sure to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor
and PRB Schools. PRB Schools is a small school district with large district opportunities, providing activities and classes that involve students, making sure every student has everything to be successful. PRB Schools also offers a variety of community ed programs, a great way to learn new skills hands-on with others within the community, making connections with families, being involved with the community, becoming a community family. PRBschools.org. This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating.
And we're back here on YourLiveEvent.com and KLKS Talk 100 as the Pine River-Backus Tigers hosted the Sebeka Trojans here tonight. Pine River-Backus taking away a 77-70 win. Was quite the exciting ball game there in the second half as they made a huge comeback, and lots of great three-pointers there made by Tate Norman and Isaiah Downey, and man, great plays there tonight by Pine River-Backus. The Sebeka Trojans did put up a fight, but they'll take on Friday. Sebeka Trojans take on Verndale, and Pine River-Backus travels to Red Lake. I thank you for tuning in tonight, and it's been my pleasure, and I'm going to hit the road here. It's going to be a long drive back home in the cold winter snowy weather, so stay safe out there. We'll do this again next time. I'm Brandon Torgerson. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening. We'll get you back to regular programming now on KLKS Talk 100, and thank you for listening once again, and have a great night.
This has been a local sports presentation from